never understand the allure of giving away your money to the rich.
Well, howdy, partner. Good to see you again. Boss is waiting for you upstairs, so get a move on. I see you brought a friend. Sorry, partner, but they're gonna have to stay outside. Come back soon now. Where to, partner? Penthouse floor.
You should have seen Mr. House when he heard what you did to the Omertas. He was as giddy as a schoolboy. I'm Jane, one of Mr. House's girls. We keep him entertained. We don't get many guests lately. Perhaps we can entertain you as well. Why, Sugar, he's the maximum utmost. If it weren't for Mr. House, we wouldn't have this fabulous wonderland of New Vegas, would we? Well, of course I am, silly. Mr. House is just the smartest, most wonderful man there ever was. Why, did you know he single-handedly reclaimed New Vegas from all those nasty tribes that used to live here? Well, he single-handedly sent in his Securitrons to do it, but that counts in my book. Sugar, I may be a robot on the outside, but on the inside, my neurocomputational matrix is an exact copy of Mr. House's favorite girl. Mr. House has a lot of needs, Sugar. I take care of all of them, and a lady doesn't kiss and tell. Then maybe you shouldn't pry into a lady's particulars, hmm? Anything you like, Sugar. This is the Lucky 38 Resort and Casino, or it used to be. Mr. House has kept the place locked up tight for ages now. Nobody comes in or out. Not many people know this, but Mr. House is one of the world's biggest collectors of antique snow globes. If you happen to find any out in the wasteland, you can bring them to me, and I'll add them to his collection. You'll get a reward, of course. In fact, one of Mr. House's favorites went missing when we moved the collection. If you have a look around the Lucky 38, you might even find it. Well, hello, Sugar. You do? Why, that's just wonderful. I'll take them and put them with the rest of the collection.
Goodbye.
Well, this meeting has been a long time in coming. Longer still since you took time to charge into the tops before coming to see me. Before we get down to details, I must ask, now that you've arrived at your destination, what do you make of what you see? Of course you haven't. Vegas always was one of a kind. What you see down on the Strip is just a fraction of the city's former glory, and yet, more than an echo, I preserved its spirit. Or perhaps you were referring to the Lucky 38? The years haven't been kind to her, but still she manages to impress. Oh, don't be coy. You've been playing a high-stakes game ever since Victor dug you out of the ground. Don't be afraid to admit it. The business is this. One of my employees has stolen an item of extraordinary value from me, and I want it recovered. Simple enough. My only concern is the recovery of the platinum chip. What happens to Benny, I leave to your discretion. When you bring the chip to me, I will pay you 4 times the delivery bonus stipulated in your contract. How's that? Very well. 5 times the bonus. Not 1 cap more. Well enough. Return to me when you have the platinum chip in your possession. Any final matters for us to discuss? What did you wish to know? Benny has led the chairman ever since I recruited his tribe 7 years ago. Until his recent misbehavior, I'd planned to make him my protege. Maybe if I'd begun grooming him sooner, none of this would have happened. To achieve my aims, I require a capable human agent to perform certain tasks. I knew Benny was ambitious, even ruthless, but I believed he would do the job so long as he was incentivized appropriately. Obviously, I miscalculated his drive for supremacy, but in any case, you've come along, a more than suitable replacement. have to think that he found out about the platinum chip and mistakenly convinced himself that he could use it to his own ends. One of the problems of a tribal workforce, I'm afraid. No intuitive understanding of how complex technologies can be. Why didn't Victor intervene sooner, you mean? Goodsprings is a bit too far away for me to reliably control a Securitron agent by remote. I can send and receive packets of data at best. Victor's combat algorithms determined the proper course of action. Benny and his thugs were more than a match for a lone Securitron. When he alerted me, I instructed him to approach the site after Benny and the others had departed. What else did you want to know? It's a very special item. There's nothing else like it in the entire world. It was lost a long time and difficult to find. That's all you need to know about it for this stage of our enterprise. Fulfill your contract, deliver the chip, and good things will come your way. You might keep an eye out for any computers that Benny's been using. Maybe even a computer lab of some sort. That's simply not true. I am the only person to hold any rights pertaining to the chip. I designed it, and I paid for it, dearly. To develop that chip, I spent a sum of US dollars. Not the bottle caps that pass as currency these days, but a sum beyond counting. For decades, I paid salvagers to comb the ruins for it. And when it was finally discovered, tens of thousands of caps spent to have it brought here. We know how that turned out. Complete your contract, and it will be the last time I pay for the chip. Save your questions for then. You realize you were just one of many couriers. The rest of them, dummies, so to speak. Add to that many thousands of caps worth of mercenary protection to screen your avenue of approach. Had I used an armed caravan to transport the chip, I might as well have been announcing to the world, "This is important. Attack this." I didn't want to attract the attention of groups like the Great Khans or the Brotherhood of Steel. Alas, the real threat was closer to home. Frontal assaults on casinos? Not good for business. In any case, Benny would see it coming, and all he'd have to do is hold the chip up and point a pistol at it. Our foremost advantage is that Benny doesn't know that I know he has the chip. Let's not squander it. What else did you want to know? I am Robert Edwin House, President, CEO, and sole proprietor of the new Vegas Strip. I oversaw the city's renovations starting from 2274 onward. The 3 families are my employees. Before the Great War of 2077, I was the founder, president, and CEO of Robco Industries, a vast computer and robotics corporation. Don't let the video screens and computer terminals fool you. I'm flesh and blood, not silicon. I see you've made a study of the topic. My knowledge of the science of longevity would fill several textbooks. Perhaps after a decade or 2 of economic reconstruction, I can commercialize these technologies and offer them to others, such as yourself. Let's just say it was very costly. But I was willing to make the sacrifices longevity entailed, financial and otherwise. We can discuss this in greater detail at another time. Suffice it to say that when my Securitrons detected NCR scouts at Hoover Dam, I took action. I recruited a tribal force to supplement my Securitrons and renovated the strip just in time to welcome the NCR as it marched into the region. Instead of war, a treaty was negotiated, and the money started to pour in. What else did you want to know? It's understandable that you'd be curious about this topic, but we'll hold off until the platinum chip has been recovered. What else did you want to know? It won't be easy. Benny is always surrounded by at least 4 bodyguards, except when he's in his private suite on the 13th floor of the Tops. It's more complicated than that. The chairmen share what you might call a tribal affinity. Look for a man named Swank, Benny's second-in-command. He's always been a reliable, if unimaginative, employee. Do your best to convince him that you're working under my auspices. If you have evidence of Benny's crimes, show it to him. By contract, Securitrons are to enter the casinos only when invited by the 3 families, or if other extraordinary circumstances arise. The moment I send one into the Tops, Benny will know I'm on to him. If you were to approach Benny in public, you might be able to leverage his fear of exposure to make him agree to meet with you in private. Sneaking into Benny's suite on the 13th floor would be very difficult, but not impossible. There might be guards. Certainly there'd be a sturdy lock on his front door. What else did you want to know? Well enough. Be on your way.
Congratulations, partner. The boss has instructed me to comp you to the High Roller Suite. You can bring your friends too. Be like a little clubhouse for the gang you put together. Just bear in mind, you're the only one gets to see the boss. Any friends you got, they can wait in the suite. Enjoy the digs, partner. They're plenty fancy.
Well, hello, sugar. Mr. House is waiting for you in his office. You do? Why, that's just wonderful. I'll take it and put it with the rest of the collection.
Where to, partner? High Roller Suite. Where to, partner? Casino floor.
Hey, you there. I have a message for you. It's from Ambassador Crocker. Very important. Here you go.
Check that out. He just left the Lucky 38.
Damn, and he looks good to me, too. Us NCR folk gotta stick together. Even if the Strip is the safest place in New Vegas.
It's hard to sleep in this place, I tell you. Last night, some girl was pounding on my door.
Who would have thought a place like this would exist? Traveling into the Strip just got a lot easier now that the Fiend's leaders are dead.
Patrolling the Mojave almost makes you wish for a nuclear... Welcome to the NCR Embassy. How can I help you? Ambassador Crocker can be found in his office through the door to my right and at the end of the hall. The embassy offices are to your left, while the barracks and living quarters are to the right. If you're looking for a history lesson, I suggest you talk to Ambassador Crocker. Sir?
I'm glad you could make it. I have something I wanted to discuss with you. It's a very important matter, and I have a strong feeling you're the perfect person for the job. I'm sure you've noticed that things are a little tense around here with all the issues between the NCR, the Legion, and Mr. House. It doesn't take a genius to see that something big is going to happen soon. To be honest with you, the NCR is in a tight spot. But if we fail now, it's the people here that are going to suffer the most. I'm not willing to let that happen, and I don't think you're the kind of person that would either. To the northeast is a settlement. The locals here call them boomers. They are sitting on a munitions stockpile that would be invaluable to us. I would like you to get in contact with them, and then do whatever it takes to convince them to help us. Unfortunately, the boomers keep to themselves and are, let's say, hostile to all outsiders. That's why I need someone like you. Someone with your background and reputation would have a better chance of reaching them than anyone I have available. In exchange for your help, you would receive complete amnesty for any past crimes against the NCR, as well as additional benefits and perks. Do you think you would be able to do this for me? That's excellent news. So they'll help us, right? Let me know as soon as you have an answer from them. Interested in politics, huh? Well, grab a seat and get comfortable. I've been in politics quite a while now. Always had the drive to do it even when I was young. It's just something I was drawn to. I started my career over 20 years ago back in the NCR as the local mayor and worked my way up from there. I managed President Kimball's first run for a seat on the council. I suppose that's why I have this ambassadorship. I was elected to this post 7 years ago. I'm the third NCR representative to serve here in Vegas. Now, I've had my share of ups and downs along the way, but I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. That's it. Anything else you wish to know? I can provide a quick history lesson, if that's what you're looking for. In 2274, President Kimball sent the NCR Army into the Mojavian Force with the objective of occupying and repairing Hoover Dam. Rangers and Army scouts had confirmed that the dam was basically unoccupied and could be restored to an operable condition. Upon arriving at the dam, however, they discovered that a large force of tribals and robots had occupied it. This was our introduction to the three families, the Securitrons and, of course, Mr. House. Using his Securitrons as intermediaries, Mr. House called for parley. He claimed his forces had occupied Hoover Dam in order to safeguard it for our arrival, and that he was ready to turn it over to us, so long as we could agree to terms. Those terms became the Treaty of New Vegas. The treaty recognized Mr. House's sovereignty over the Strip and granted us rights to establish military bases at the dam and McCarran Airport. The NCR is legally permitted to send 95% of the electricity produced by the dam to our home states. The remaining 5% goes to the Strip. The treaty actually makes it illegal for the NCR to prevent its citizens or troops on furlough from visiting the Strip. Once on the Strip, our citizens are subject to arrest or punishment by House's Securitrons, though that's a rare occurrence. Our troops enjoy a different status. It's illegal for the Securitrons to take action against them. Of course, it's also illegal for our troops to carry firearms on the Strip, so there isn't much trouble they can get into. Our military police does an adequate job of keeping the troops on furlough in line. I don't envy them that task. The embassy was established a few weeks after the treaty was signed. Basically, Mr. House handed us a dumpy little building he had no interest in renovating. I'm the third ambassador to hold this post, and the first, I think, to accept its limitations. My predecessors had ambitions of engineering the annexation of the Mojave. They thought they'd convince Mr. House to join up. I've never even spoken to the man, or whatever he is. Maybe the situation will change once we've beaten the Legion once and for all. Now we mostly just keep track of the NCR citizens and troopers around and make sure they don't get in trouble, but that's Captain Papa's job. I keep myself busy with paperwork and reports that get sent back to the NCR. It's mostly busy work, but every once in a while we make progress. Goodbye.
Hello. My buddies at Camp McCarran are breathing easy now that the Fiend's leader is dead. Without leadership, it's as good as dead.
Hello, friend. How can Mother Pearl be of help today? Of course, my child. After all that you have done for us, we would love to help you in the upcoming battle. After all the training in virtual reality, the young ones would relish an opportunity to put their skills to battle. We'll be there when you need us. Don't get blown up.
Move along.
What's up? Lead the way.
Did you know the strip's all stirred up lately? Just as a warning, my covert bandaging skills are a little rusty.
My buddies at Camp McCarran are breathing easy, now that the Fiend's leader is dead. It's good to see such an outstanding citizen of the NCR. What can I do for you, my friend? I hope you've returned with good news. Are they willing to help the NCR? Excellent work. I can't tell you how useful that will be. In any event, I have another assignment ready and waiting for you. But we can speak of it later. Rest up, and when you're ready, speak to me again. It's good to see such an So I did. As you may have noticed, our position here in New Vegas is tenuous. We've made great strides, sure, but the NCR is not welcomed here, merely tolerated. And even then, not by everyone. We've had reports of violence against NCR citizens in a neighborhood just to the northeast called Freeside. Ever been there? I'm inclined to agree, but it's a slum with NCR citizens in it. And as such, it falls under my jurisdiction. Violence is something of a way of life there, but there's been a disturbing rise in the number of attacks on our people lately. More worrying is the fact that our sources suggest the violence is being perpetrated by the gang that runs the place, the Kings. I need someone to look into this that won't attract attention. Would you be interested? That's too bad. Come back if you change your mind. I'm sure you can see yourself out.
Hi. What can I do for you? You saw our front sign, didn't you? This is where all the beautiful signs of the Strip become a reality. It all comes from Michelangelo's imagination. We do a little work here and there too, sure, but he's the real artist. He's the reason the Strip shines like a star at night. Mike's imagined and built every sign, billboard, and light you'll see around here. He's the reason the Strip shines like a star at night. Mike's imagined and built every sign, billboard, and light you'll see around here. I've been here over a year now, though I'm not one to get tired for long. I plan to roam the wasteland once I'm ready. The people need light and kindness. There's too much fear and pain out there already. Check out the back of the shop. He's usually working there. Bye.
Hello? Oh, hello, I am Michelangelo. How can I... wait. Are you here to deliver more billboard requests? Please tell me you're not a messenger on behalf of Mr. House. I am sorry. Meant no offense. The billboards are not ready yet. please, I need more time, more materials. You've made your point. What would it take to convince you to keep silent until I manage to finish Mr. House's requests? Yeah, I imagine that it takes a lot to fill the void of such a bottomless soul. Take the caps and leave me to my sorrows. You were? Really? Okay, for a moment I thought you were gonna tighten my screws. Like everyone else around here. That's great to hear. Really great. I'm Sheldon from Vault 21. Although here I go by my artistic name, Michelangelo. So what brings you here? Well, not much, really. Vault 21 was my home. My dear home. I left it to explore the outside world. At first it was a marvel to behold. My inspiration flowed true, and its works caught Mr. House's attention. That's how I ended up in this place. Most people don't understand what it means to grow up in a vault. Its corridors, its walls, radiate a warmth that feels safe, honest. But here, everything is huge and threatening. It's so empty that I think one of these days I'll just snap. I feel haunted by something terrible. Working in such a huge workshop often makes me shiver. I can't even leave the strip. Most people don't... You mean Mitch? Oh, it's been ages since I've heard the name. My sister and I used to call him Mole Butt. Don't ask. That was a long time ago. Before we exchanged the warmth of our home for the thin air of the wasteland. I feel haunted by something terrible. Working in such a huge workshop often makes me shiver. I can't even leave the strip. It's this place. My inspiration ebbs and I don't know how to stop it. Oh, I can't feel the warmth anymore. Wouldn't that be great? No, Mr. House filled it with concrete. Only a few rooms and halls remain. My sister was able to turn them into a hotel. Oh, all right. So, bye.
Hello.
No monorail access to the strip? Where am I supposed to take my leave?
Cool, later.
Our guys put the monorail back to work. It's good to see you around the strip.
Hey, fellow, welcome to the Tops Hotel and Casino. I'm gonna have to ask you to hand over any weapons you might be carrying. Smooth and easy, just the way I like it. Don't worry, they'll be as safe as kittens till you're ready to leave. Oh, and a friendly word of advice. If you happen to stumble across any weapons during your stay here, well, just don't wear them openly. You dig? Now that we got that little business out of the way, what can I do to make your Tops experience the tops? Relax, baby. The safe is houses. We'll keep them locked up in the bank upstairs right next to the money. It's serious protection. Everything your little heart desires, that's what. You like gambling? Boom. Either one of the main hallways has cards, slots, you name it. Hungry? Thirsty? The restaurant just off the left-hand hallway has the best food and booze in Vegas. Or maybe you'd rather take in a show. The Aces Theater upstairs always has hot acts raring to go. Check it out. Have a good time, baby. Hey, ya baby, good to see you. Always nice to have a celebrity drop by. Really? You got something to say about the big boss, huh? Well, why don't you say it to his face instead of yapping at me? Huh? What are you talking about? That doesn't... Why would he pull a stunt like that? Got anything else to offer? He's trying to pull a fast one on the big man. Crazy bastard. You got any more? Yeah? What else you got? Huh. Well, yeah, okay, these are Benny's brand, and they ain't too common. You got anything else? Yeah, that looks like Benny's lighter, all right. Still, not exactly a ton of proof. Got anything else, kid? That's... pretty shady, yeah. Could be Benny's up to no good. Could be this is somebody else altogether. What else you got? Jesus, kid, I think we got a real problem on our hands. Can't believe Benny's a no-good stinking punk, trying to play house like that. Tell you what, I'll call Benny, keep him away from his suite. You go search the place. Here's the key, it's on the 13th floor. It's a room with the double doors, can't miss it. Maybe you'll find something we can show to Mr. House and get him arrested. Groovy, here's your stuff back. In case you run into company, you dig? I'll tell the boys to give you a pass to pack some heat. Go on then. Elevators to pass the slot machines on your left. Hello.
Welcome to the Tops. How can I help you?
Just as a warning, my covert bandaging skills are a little rusty.
Over here! Mm-hmm.
The cleaners will knock twice. Make sure they're thorough. What the fuck?
Hello.
The eyes of the mighty Caesar are upon you. He admires your accomplishments and bestows upon you the exceptional gift of his mark. Any crimes you may have perpetrated against the Legion are hereby forgiven. Caesar will not extend this mercy a second time. My lord requires your presence at his camp at Fortification Hill. His mark will guarantee your safe conduct through our lands. Incidentally, it will interest you to know that the man you seek has fled the Strip and is likely making haste for Caesar's camp as we speak. Seek Caesar by way of Cottonwood Cove, south of Nelson. The Cursor Lucullus will be waiting.
So, Mr. House doesn't care that one of Caesar's most notorious Legion spies is walking around on the Strip. Either that or his Securitron's AI is too primitive to recognize the threat. Neither answer is particularly comforting. What's up?
It could be better. If we can find a way to work toward the independence of New Vegas, that would be ideal. But really, as long as you don't help out the Legion, anything's better than that. See you around.
Oh! Hi again! Can I help you with something else? Hope to see you soon.
Our way. True to Caesar. Awe, are you ready to head upriver? I am Cursar Lucullus, and my orders are to escort you to the Legion's camp at Fortification Hill. Are you ready to go? You'll be meeting face-to-face with the mighty Caesar himself, founder of the Legion, conqueror of 86 tribes. To my knowledge, this is the first time Caesar has ever summoned one of the dissolute to see him. Not even tribal chieftains receive this honor. All who are not Legion are dissolute. They live in squalor, unrestrained by morality, lacking moderation, temper, and self-control. Their very existence is a blight on the common good. Even worse are the profligates, the subtype of dissolute one finds this side of the river. They hold themselves to be civilized, when in fact they are corrupt and self-interested. The truth will be made clear to them soon enough. You'd know better than I would, but you must be remarkable for Caesar to take such an interest. The trip will take a few hours. Take your place on the boat. By order of Caesar, all visitors must disarm and relinquish all banned items. Your belongings will be returned to you when you leave.
What's up? Wait a second. What's going on? Am I playing Virgil to your Dante? I'd like to assume that we're tiptoeing into the mouth of hell out of academic curiosity, but I'm not so open-minded that I've lost my brains.
Short of canceling our imminent travel plans, that's the best thing you could have said. Just be careful. If we travel at Caesar's pleasure, he may not let us out as easily as he lets us in.
Our way, true to Caesar.
I've seen crippled slaves move faster. True to Caesar. I'm harsh on the children, but they'll be excellent legionaries. I'm quite proud of them.
Okay.
Some of the slaves have been spreading stories about the burned man again.
You're the courier who caused so much trouble for my legion, and yet you dare come before me. All the bribes I sent to the Omertas ended up buying me nothing. The great Khans aren't exactly clamoring to fight for my legion now. The garrison I established at Nelson has been wiped out. So tell me this, because I really want to know. I am feared, with good reason. But you, of all people, dare to come here and stand before me, the mighty Caesar. What were you thinking? We'll deal with Benny when the time comes. In the meantime, you do know why I wanted to meet you, right? A man nearly kills you, so you track him across the breadth of the Mojave. You arrive on the strip and waltz into the Lucky 38 like someone left you a key under the doormat. You visit the tops, and next thing you know, the head of the chairman is fleeing the strip like a whimpering little pup. When you set your mind to something, you get results. I like that. The question is, are you ready to get started? The time is fast approaching when my legion will assault the Great Dam and invade the West. Before that happens, I want Mr. House knocked out of the game. A quick 1-2 punch. with you doing the punching. Down the hill, at the west edge of camp, is an old building. It was here when the fort was taken in 2277. Inside the building is a hatch. And inside that hatch are 2 steel doors that bear the sigil of the Lucky 38 casino. Now that same sigil is on the platinum chip Benny was carrying when we captured him. Isn't that interesting? Even more interesting, there's a slot about the same size as the chip on the console that opens the hatch. So you know what I think? I think the platinum chip opens those doors. Doors that can't be pried open, or drilled open, or blasted open. Because all that, I tried. Benny's theory, if I understood it through all the screaming, was that Mr. House stashed some kind of ultimate weapon down there. A gigantic robot to stomp us all to death. Who cares? Whatever it is, House built it. So I want it destroyed. I want you to destroy whatever you find in there. And then I want you to come back here and tell me about it. So go to the building and take this fucking platinum chip with you. My legionaries will meet you there, with your weapons and equipment. Talk to Benny on your way out. He knows I'm going to let you decide how he dies. Maybe you want to remind him.
Go ahead and laugh, baby. I ain't blind to the humor in this situation. Yeah, well, laugh it up on your own time. Down to brass tacks. How'd your meet and greet with Baldy go? Sure. Baldy wants you to go down there in the bunker and destroy whatever Mr. House stashed there. Oh, you don't want to do that, baby. Whatever's down in that bunker is the key to the city called Vegas. So here's what you do. You go down there and you use the chip to do whatever Mr. House would have wanted you to do. And when you get back to the Strip, you find Yes Man. I made it so that cat can't help but be helpful. Dig? I'm the most interesting person I know. Now, in the way back, we called ourselves the Boot Riders. Silly name, but that's how we rode the Mojave, dig? On our feet. We were nomadic badasses not to be trifled with, a gang of ruffians, though with a certain panache. When House gave us the tops to renovate, his robots dropped off boxes full of suits and ties and wingtip shoes. Told us we were the chairmen now. That caused an uproar, but I said the name sticks. Chow to the old ways, baby. Time to swing in style. If the shoes fit, you wear them. 7 years. Took over 3 days after Mr. House introduced himself. Our chief at the time, mountain of a guy named Bingo, wanted to stay nomadic. I disagreed, so he challenged me to the knife. He looked so surprised when I stuck that knife in his neck. Thought he was so tough, but he was so slow. That's how I made chief. It's how things were back then. We were east of Vegas when the first Securitron we ever saw rolled up on us. We junked it in a minute flat. The next day, 20 roll up. So we listened. Said we'd been selected. Vegas needed us to defend it. In exchange, we'd get cushy digs, full stomachs, medical treatment. Everything a nomad never gets, in other words. Most of the tribe thought we should say no. I thought it was the best idea ever. I prefer the term relocated. It took every stealth boy I had to cross the river at Cottonwood Cove. That was a close shave, riding a boat full of Legion boys. Once I was across, I changed into a uniform I swiped off a dead legionary outside Nelson. Tried to sneak into the bunker, but that didn't work out. They found the chip. I wasn't gonna tell them what it was used for, but let's just say they were persuasive. Go on. Try not to smile so wide, baby. You might break your mouth. Yeah, Baldy said you'd get to decide. So which way you leaning? Yeah, To die in my sleep at a ripe old age after a marathon session of hey-hey with 30 sex-starved broads. You'll set that up? Look, I ain't a harbor for illusions. I ain't expecting to get out of this shindig alive. That's why I'm trying to hand you my scheme, baby. It's called having a legacy. The direct approach, eh? Fair enough. But you should wait until the bunker's taken care of. Caesar won't like it if you eat dessert first. Ta-ta.
Our way, true to Kaiser.
What a load of Brahmin shit! Can you believe that guy? A fair point. But from the perspective of someone west of the Colorado, the man is clearly out of his mind. Maybe he didn't intend for things to wind up this way. But that doesn't mean he needs to perpetuate this bizarre anachronistic myth. And it doesn't mean that we should sit by and nod our heads at every absurd faux Roman casus belli he can dream up. He's a tyrant, the bad kind, and there's no way we're letting him take Hoover Dam.
Some of the slaves have been spreading stories about the burned man again.
I can't talk to you. It's not allowed. I guess that's okay. If you're a friend, can you help me? I help take care of the Brahmin. I sometimes bring water and food to people. That's it. Anthony took Sergeant Teddy away and gave him to the stinky dogs. I want him back. I kept him secret, but I think somebody told on me. Thanks. So long.
Our way, true to Kaiser.
Caesar has permitted your weapons to be returned to you while you serve him. Caesar has put a lot of trust in you. Be worth it.
Well, you're here ahead of schedule. I suppose it's just as well. This is where I wanted you to end up after all. I knew I could rely on Caesar to give you back the platinum chip. That's rather obvious, isn't it? The platinum chip is a data storage device. I need you to manually upload the data from the chip to the facility's primary computer. There's a terminal at the other end of this facility. There's a complication. While I can broadcast to this screen, I can't control any of the facility's systems. That means I can't deactivate its security bots, most of which appear to be active according to the status board I'm looking at. I like to think you have enough sense to do the right thing. The rewards for doing so are immense, as are the punishments for not doing so.
Put down your weapons and submit to authority. Move along, please. Move along, please.
Your work here is done. Return to the Lucky 38 so we can discuss next steps. You have a very bright future ahead of you. Thanks to your actions today, so does the rest of mankind.
You've carried out Caesar's will, but I must confiscate your equipment again. You're free to leave.
Our way, true to Caesar.
If you're injured, I might have healing powder to spare. What do you want to know? A small town in New Mexico. The Legion burned it a few years back. That's how I ended up here. 3 years and counting. If I could just get across the river, I'd be free. Not that I'd try it. I've seen what happens when you get caught. We're property. If you're too young or too old, the men usually leave you alone. Usually. All right. I never finished my training. The Legion saw to that when they overran my town. I do know basic first aid, but I've had to rely on tribal remedies to treat illnesses and injuries. Healing powders and all that. I'm always running low on Xander root. Plenty of Brock flowers, though. Oh, I've been using 2 roots per flower. Thanks to you, I'll be able to create twice as much healing powder per day. For sale? I'm a slave, not a merchant. I could give you some healing powder every day, but you'd have to be a friend of the Legion. Okay.
Some of the slaves have been spreading stories about the burned man again. Awe. True to Kaisar.
Outsiders are a rare sight at the fort. Step carefully around here and you might just leave alive. I'm Anthony, Master of the Hounds. Yeah? We breed them mostly, but sometimes we get some good ones from Denver. That whole city is overrun with them. Been doing it since I was a boy. The mongrels know to listen up when I start talking to them. Okay. The stupid girl should know by now that even the rags on her back are a privilege. Anyway, my mongrels like their new toy. Tell you what, you square off with 4 of my best dogs. No armor and no weapons except a machete. You survive, and I let you have the bear. All right, 2 it is. There'll still be more than enough to take you down, I think. I think they'll probably end up killing you. I trained them myself. But if you do win somehow, the mongrels will at least get honorable deaths. Good luck. You'll need it. Damn it! I thought they had you! Take the bear. I can't believe I let some of my best dogs get killed over this stupid thing. Your stuff is in the crate next to the arena entrance. Leave it there too long, and we'll dump it in the lake. Later.
Hi. That's okay. I'll fix him. Can I have him now? Thank you. So long.
I felt the ground shake a while ago. I'll take that as a sign you've got the job done. There are rewards for doing as I command. Today, your reward is vengeance. You get to decide how Benny dies. Go to Benny. Let him know what you've decided. My Praetorians will perform the execution, unless you want to perform it yourself. You need to work on your bloodthirst. We won't speak again until Benny is dead. Walk away if you want, but if you do, he's going up on a cross. You're still making a choice.